Super Dave here with episode 22 of Figures, Playsets, and Accessories that will work well with MOTU Classics and Masterverse Figures. And today we're taking a look at the third character in the Golden Axe series to round out the core team, the main team, that 3 set in that Sega video game arcade. And it is Gilius Thunderhead. And you can see a picture of him and his ride. That's right, Chicken Leg comes with Gilius. And you're going to see all those cool opportunities of posing and accessories that he comes with. So let's go ahead and break out this Gilius Thunderhead and release his Chicken Leg beast and check him out. And here we are outside at Eternia, getting ready to take a look at our Gilius Thunderhead. Let's first take a look at his accessories. Let's first of all take a look at Gilius's hands. He comes with a pair of gripping hands. He comes with a pair of tightly fisted hands, as well as equipped with a pair of weapon holding hands. He also comes with this awesome axe with some battle damage scarring upon it with a shimmering silver type metallic paint. Comes with his first head sculpt, which is bearded, of course, that Viking-like helmet, and very good features. Storm Collectibles always does a great job with their head sculpts, and he comes with a second head sculpt, and that's kind of his attack head sculpt, angry head sculpt, looking awesome there, as well as the Viking helmet. So really cool. And then, of course, he also comes with Chicken Leg. We'll be taking a closer look at him as well. But first, let's look at our Gilius Thunderhead's articulation. First of all, taking a look at our Gilius Thunderhead's head sculpt. It's really looking nice here. You can see all the details, the ears, the beard, the texturing, the wrinkles in his face, those realistic Storm Collectibles eyes. And our Gilius is going to be able to look up a very good amount there. His hair really doesn't get in the way. It's soft. And then, of course, that neck, upper body is soft goods as well, typical of Storm Collectibles. So he's able to get a good gaze up. He's also going to be able to look down pretty much all the way as much as he needs. He's going to be able to get excellent tilting and expressions. He's going to be able to look side to side and be able to do pretty much whatever he needs to do. Excellent there as far as that head sculpt, and the other head sculpt will be the same way. It's going to be able to get the same exact style of articulation, and you see how nice that head sculpt looks there. Look at the hair on the back and the way it's textured, as well as just the strands in it. There is a small amount of possibly gray wash in there just to bring out the crevices and the strands in the hair, but excellent looking there. But moving on to the arms, of course, Gilius is going to be able to get 360. He does have bicep swivel. He also has a butterfly joint underneath his tunic, and it's interesting to note, go ahead and mention that this tunic, even though it looks very realistic like cloth, almost like a mezco type cloth covering and belt, it is actually a rubber piece that overlays the entire body of this character. So it is absolutely not cloth. It's realistic looking enough. It has actually some really good texturing looking all throughout it there, and the belt looks very realistic. It is a separate piece also, just to mention, but it's all a part of this tunic overlay and then wrapped around to hold it in place. So it's just really nice looking there. But also mentioning these arms, he has double jointed elbows, which is a little hindered because of the girth of his bicep there. He is going to have the ability to go horizontal with those wrists, as well as vertically with those wrists. So he's got the ability, of course, with that ball peg to turn it however direction that you need to go for his weapon holding hands or whatever you're using him for. Go ahead and move these muscular arms out of the way. Go with the nice shoulder motion and movements. Everything's looking really good. To take a look at his diaphragm and waist here, this cloak, like we said, is overlaying the body, so there still is a break there, and you can see how it bends right there when you bend, so you're going to still be able to crunch forward about that much. You're also going to be able to crunch him back about that much, so you're still going to be able to get some of the side to side. See how this material bends, almost looks like the folds of the cloth bend with it. So it's really good the way they designed this. You can just see where it kind of bends with the material bends with the body. So that's excellent. And so you're going to be able to, you know, put them all together and bend it really well back, as well as the waist articulation, putting it all together and bend really good backwards as well. So crunch forward and backwards. And see that split right there. Moving on to the legs, you're going to be able to see that he's still going to be able to get full splits, because that skirt does have the slit on the side. So he gets full splits. He also has thigh rotation up in there. He has double jointed knees there. Double jointed knees there, which really get a good flexing motion upwards. You can see kind of how far he'll be able to kick. Not quite 90 degrees, but it is hindered some by the skirt type cloak covering, but not too bad. Still going to be able to get, you know, turn and get some riding ability for his chicken leg ride there. Moving on to the feet, he does not have a boot cut there like Axe Battler and Tyrus Flare did, but he does have the thigh swivel there up there, so you'll be able to get those turns. Moving on to the feet, he does have the ability to do tiptoes and go up a good amount there as well, and he has excellent rocker joints, as you can tell there, and has a toe hinge there for all of your articulation needs. All right, so everything working really good together. Now, just mention that even though this guy is shorter, he does have very good articulation, so not really much hindered, I don't believe. I mean, he will turn still at the waist, so you're still going to be able to get everything. But, you know, you do feel a little bit shortchanged. He has less hands than the other ones, you know, just not as many accessories. And even chicken leg is kind of limited compared to what we have been kind of seeing with these awesome dragons. And mentioning that, let's go ahead and look at chicken leg's articulation. And here is our chicken leg, and let's go ahead and get the elephant out of the room. This beak does not move. The bottom or top does not move. That is a huge miss. They should have figured out a way, in my opinion, to have made this character where his beak would have articulated. That is just my opinion. I mean, both the dragons did, and you can't turn his head at all. The only thing you can turn is his tail, and that is articulated. It has the bendy wire in it, so you can, from the gold bracelet here all the way back, can bend it and shape that tail. So that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and look at the legs. The legs will be able to spread out about that much, so they move out like so. And they also have a hinge at the knee, so you're going to be able to get that motion. They also have a little bit of movement at the, you know, main thigh area of this chicken leg. And you have another knee motion on the second level here, and that also swivels. That's right. And then you have another kind of foot articulation here, and that will also get a little bit of rocker motion going. There's even some rocker motion going in that foot. So that's the same on both sides, of course. Again, that just make sure you saw it. There is rocker in that, and swivel at that knee. You have to be careful with it. Make sure it's turned the right direction so you don't break your hinge here, but it is present. All right, and that's about it. They're trying to see if this saddle pops off. Yep, it does. It pops off, so you can see the hole in the bottom. You've got this saddle, and you can just pop that right back in. You see the things on his back there, the little horns, but they come out. They're soft rubber, and this is soft rubber. And of course, Gilius, with his weapon holding hands, will be able to grab hold of these and hold on to his ride chicken leg. And full transparency, I mean, this guy is really hard to kind of position on this chicken leg. It's just hard to get him on there. But as you work on it, and his hands fall off about 20 times, and then his tail falls off, and then you bend his legs the wrong way, and then trying to get him, I mean, you can finally get him on there, but there's what he looks like, and as he's riding his chicken leg. It's kind of awkward looking, but that's about as good as it's gonna get. But this character, as far as the action figure, is really cool. Just look at the veins in his arms and his shoulders, and it's different than Axe Battler. All three of these have a different skin tone as well. So we're going to be looking at all that now in comparisons. And here's our Gilius Thunderhead next to the Axe Battler himself and his red dragon, as well as Tyrus Flare and her blue dragon, and of course next to Chicken Leg as well. So there's all three of them ready for action, looking intimidating, looking awesome, looking strong, looking cool. Really nice looking action figures by Storm Collectibles. So happy to have them in my collection. And yes, I just think that they go great with our Masters of the Universe Classics and Masterverse figures. So let's take a look at some of them alongside of our Gilius as well. And here is our Gilius Thunderhead next to our Masters of the Universe Masterverse New Eternia He-Man, as well as our Masterverse Battle Cat. Of course, here is Battleground Tila from MOTU Classics. And you may look at the New Eternia He-Man head and this Gilius Thunderhead head and said, wait a minute, that head is way bigger than the other Masterverse heads. But then again, if you take a look, his head is much bigger than our Axe Battler's head as well. He's just got a big head, even though he has a smaller body, but because he is a dwarf. And if you think back at like Lord of the Rings, the dwarfs did have kind of like large heads and shorter frames, broad but shorter frames. So that makes sense, I think, here. And so yeah, I think they go great together. And here's a look at our Gilius Thunderhead alongside some other Viking style, action figures like our classics, MOTU Classics Vicor here, as well as our Super 7 comic book style, Conan here with the horned helmet. And of course our Viking or barbarian type He-Man, New Eternia He-Man with the helmet on. So you can see those measured up here. Again, of course, Gilius is shorter, but he is that dwarf style figure. So I think it looks great. Looking good. Here's our Gilius Thunderhead with MOTU Classics He-Man with vintage head, as well as our Raoul with our Hot Raoul from Storm Collectibles. All of these go great with MOTU stuff, as you can tell there beside that He-Man. I think it's just looking awesome. And as far as characters that are wearing a skirt type, tunic type outfit, here is our Gilius Thunderhead next to our customized classics Jesus figure. Jesus of Nazareth, Jesus Christ, awesome, my Lord and Savior. Not the action figure, but the actual person. He's alive. And of course, there is our Pumra from Thundercats with his calm head on. So you can see how these match up, and that is awesome. And for our final comparison, here's our Gilius Thunderhead and Chicken Leg next to Magic the Gathering's Nissa Rivain, and of course Figma's Link from Zelda, and there's Mythic Legion's horse. Kind of see how they measure up here with, I guess, kind of like some other dwarfs. Of course, technically Rivain here is more of a elf. Both of these are more of elf type figures, but see how they measure up with this dwarf here. All right. And here is our Golden Axe team riding their collective beasts, if you will, and they're looking intimidating, looking awesome. I will say that Tyrus Flare seems to fit her beast, her dragon, better than the other two. They almost seem, you know, a little awkward in trying to fit them on, but especially Gilius here. But overall, I think they are an awesome team. This Golden Axe video game inspired series by Storm Collectibles, they are just so cool, and they do go well, I believe, with the Masters of the Universe stuff, both lines, as far as Classics and Masterverse. Please like, subscribe if you haven't, comment if you've enjoyed this video, and come back for some more Super Dave reviews real soon. This has been fun, and enjoy these photos in the photo gallery.